Long ago, in a kingdom nestled deep within the forest of ancient Africa, there lived a beautiful maiden named IJEOMA. Her beauty was known far and wide, and people from distant lands would come to marvel at her. Her skin was radiant as the sun, her eyes sparkled like stars, and her hair flowed like a river of black silk. The people said that even the gods gazed upon her beauty in awe. But IJEOMA had one flaw: her pride. She was arrogant and believed herself to be above everyone else. She would mock those less beautiful than her, even calling them ugly creatures as they passed her by. Many tried to warn her, saying that the gods detested pride, but IJEOMA would not listen. She grew more conceited, believing that no one, not even the gods, could surpass her beauty. In those days, the kingdom worshipped Obiageli, the goddess of beauty and fertility. Obiageli was said to dwell within the sacred lake at the heart of the forest, blessing those who were humble and cursing those who were filled with vanity. One day, during a festival in the village, IJEOMA stood before a crowd of admirers. With a voice dripping with arrogance, she declared, "I am more beautiful than any woman, any creature, even more than the goddess Obiageli herself." The crowd gasped in horror at her audacity. The elders shook their heads, knowing that such pride could only bring disaster. Far away in the sacred lake, Obiageli heard IJEOMA'S words. Anger bubbled within the goddess, and she rose from the waters, her divine form glowing with fury. She would teach IJEOMA a lesson that the world would not soon forget. That night, IJEOMA slept peacefully, dreaming of her beauty and her many admirers. But in the middle of the night, she woke to a terrible pain in her head. It felt as though her scalp was on fire. She screamed and ran to a mirror, only to be met with a horrifying sight. Her once beautiful hair had turned into writhing, hissing snakes. The serpents splittered and coiled around her head, their venomous eyes gleaming with malice. IJEOMA screamed in terror, but it was too late. The curse had been cast. The goddess Obiageli had stripped IJEOMA of her beauty, and in its place, she was given a monstrous form. Her pride had sealed her fate. Worse still, anyone who dared to gaze into IJEOMA'S eyes was instantly turned to stone. Her beauty, once celebrated, had become a weapon of destruction. IJEOMA fled into the deep forest, far away from the kingdom, to hide her cursed form. For years, IJEOMA roamed the dark woods, alone and shunned. Hunters, warriors, and travelers who ventured too close to her lair would never return. Their bodies were found, turned to stone, their faces frozen in expression of horror. The villagers began to speak of the cursed maiden who lived in the shadows, calling her Inwanyin Diegu, the fearsome woman. Stories spread far and wide of the serpent-headed maiden, whose gaze could turn men into stone. Many brave warriors attempted to defeat her, but none succeeded. Their stone statues littered the forest like grim reminder of her curse. But deep inside, IJEOMA was filled with regret. She longed for her old life, for her beauty, and for the love and admiration she once had. She wept for her arrogance and pride, knowing that her vanity had led to her doom. The serpents on her head whispered constantly, reminding her of her curse, their hisses filling her ears with guilt. One day, a young healer named Amara heard of IJEOMA'S plight. Amara was known for her wisdom and compassion, and unlike the others, she believed that IJEOMA could be redeemed. She journeyed deep into the forest, carrying with her an enchanted mirror that was said to reflect the truth of one's heart. Amara found IJEOMA'S lair, a dark and desolate cave filled with statues of those who had met her deadly gaze. She approached carefully, calling out, "IJEOMA, I have come to help you. Please let me speak with you." From the shadows, IJEOMA emerged, her serpent hair hissing angrily. "Go away," she cried. "You do not know the pain I have endured. I am a monster." Amara, undeterred, held up the enchanted mirror. "Look into this mirror, IJEOMA. It will not harm you. it will show you the truth of your heart. Reluctantly, IJEOMA gazed into the mirror. For the first time, she saw herself not as the world had once seen her, but as she truly was: arrogant, vain, and filled with regret. Tears streamed down her face, and for the first time since the curse, the snakes quieted. "I am sorry," IJEOMA whispered. "I never meant to offend the gods. I wish I could take it all back." Just as IJEOMA's sorrow filled the air, a terrifying wind swept through the forest. The ground trembled as the spirit of Obiageli appeared. Radiant and fearsome, the goddess had come to test IJEOMA's sincerity. "Do you truly regret your arrogance, IJEOMA?" Obiageli's voice boomed like thunder. "Or are you merely seeking to regain your beauty?" IJEOMA fell to her knees, her snake hair trembling. "I do not care for beauty anymore. I only wish to be free of this curse. Please forgive me." Obiageli's eyes softened. "You have learned your lesson, IJEOMA, but the curse is not so easily broken. You must face the serpent of your pride one last time." Suddenly, the snake on IJEOMA's head grew longer and more menacing. They coiled around her, ready to strike. IJEOMA knew that she had to confront them, but she could not do it alone. Amara stepped forward, chanting ancient words of power. Together they battled the serpent, Amara with her healing magic and IJEOMA with her newfound courage. It was a fierce battle, and IJEOMA nearly succumbed to the weight of her guilt. But in the end, the serpents were defeated. As the last serpent fell, Obiageli raised her hand and the curse was lifted. IJEOMA's hair returned to its original form, her beauty restored, but this time she wore it with humility. She no longer sought the admiration of others, but cherished the inner beauty of kindness and compassion. The statue of those who had been turned to stone were also restored, and the forest, once dark and foreboding, blossomed with life. IJEOMA, now a humble and wise woman, lived the rest of her days helping others and warning them of the dangers of pride. And so, the legend of IJEOMA, the serpent-headed maiden, became a tale told to children in the villages far and wide. A story not just of horror and curses, but of redemption and the power of humility. So guys, this is how I'm going to be ending this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.